Complaints. We were, blown away. The game was well over for the finish, and it looked halfway through the first half it was, going to be one of those probably great intense games. But Kilkenny got the goal then, and they just slipped away. They added up the points, and the next thing they were 7 or 8 points clear all of a sudden after maybe 25 minutes, and we just didn't, we didn't respond. Simple as that. And I suppose we were crying to get in at the break, really, to just appraise the situation.
I don't know, I suppose we just need to take stock now for a bit, Marty. Obviously, what's happened today is it's a tough end to the year for us, and but look, Cork Hurling was there before us, and Cork Hurling will be there after this group, and it's just back to the drawing board, if you like.
We never panic, Brian has always said that the spirit is built from the panel, and there's 30-35 lads in there, and any one of them can play at any stage. So it was unfortunate to see Henry and Brian Hogan go off today, and obviously John Tennyson, but the lads came in, done a super job as well, and I think everyone just believes in each other more than anything and just get on with their own job.
You must be looking forward to the next 4 weeks. I mean, the buzz around Kilkenny will be massive again.
Yeah, exactly. We're in another All-Ireland final. It hasn't really hit home at the moment, but I'm sure when we wake up in the morning and realise we've 4 long hard weeks ahead of us, enjoyable ones, and we look forward to 4 weeks' time.
Players can use whatever they want to motivate themselves, 5-0, or I suppose as Brian Cody says, just to win the next game. Worry about your performance, and I suppose the scoreboard never matters. The scoreboard only matters at the end of the game, and if we worry about our performance, the scoreboard will take care of itself.
We don't think about what other people's perception is. We just go up and play hurling and prepare for hurling matches, and try and play as well as we possibly can as a team, and give it absolutely everything. And that's in fairness what the lads do, and they did it again today.
Is there much talk in Kilkenny about the 5 in a row?
Aidan fits and starts today. It's that bit of consistency in our play, and I suppose there was pleasing aspects like maybe William Egan coming in there at half time, and young guys like that. So there are a lot of good players in Cork, but I suppose more than anything else, the players that were out there today who've given great service and that. I mean, I think there's an awful lot more in them, to be honest with you, and they'll be they're devastated, to be honest, inside in that dressing room, because this is the biggest stage of all, and whether it's an All-Ireland semi-final or final doesn't make any difference, but they're deeply hurt, and we'll have to face the facts when we get up tomorrow morning and over the next few months, and we'll have to appraise the whole lot and see how we're going to move on.
All right, well, it was a pretty awesome display from Kilkenny, and Paul, you were impressed with how Kilkenny seemed to have a hunger for goals from early on.
Yeah, Des, it was quite evident early on that Kilkenny seemed to have, maybe the round instruction, of course, that if they could get an early goal or two in Cork, that they might kill off the Cork challenge. Owen Larkin here carries it in, could have taken a point, I suppose. Richie Power again goes, they're heading for the goal the whole time. Okay, he's fouled there, and there's good Cork defence, but again TJ Reid carries the ball past the half back line, again looking to draw a man maybe for a goal. There you are, Richie Power, great touch, and fairness and Logie spreads himself well there on the way out, and there were points there for the taking, but Cork or Kilkenny seemed to be driving in, and here of course is the goal. 15 minutes into the game, Henry, great onto a loose ball, good pass, and Eddie Brennan, no better man, keeps the shot low, I suppose. And we were talking about close enough to Donald Logue, didn't give him time to react, but Kilkenny obviously after game plan set out that they'd carry the ball past the half forward line, try draw the man, and they knew probably that if they could get ahead of Cork, it would probably kill off the Cork challenge, because Cork didn't really have the capability of matching Kilkenny if the scores were high today.
Donald, when the second goal went in for Kilkenny, Cork were in real trouble then, weren't they?
Well, effectively, once the second goal went in, I think the match was over. That was my feeling, inside in Croke Park today, because when Kilkenny get goals, right, for whatever reason, they really, they get, if they're good in there, which they are, they're full. Why hit the ball down to them in the first half, or why not pull it? Why not have the half forwards pulling on the ball? And we saw a clip there where Henry Shefflin went up with Sean O'Gallagher. Why not the Cork defence knock it down and play from the ground? I mean, you're playing to Kilkenny's strengths. They are excellent in the air, so why not try and reduce the certainties that they're going to win the ball, because they'll win it when it's pucked down to them. So
the Kilkenny midfield was very strong again today, Paul.
Yeah, it does. They have an embarrassment of riches currently. Chad came in today, hasn't played in a long time for Kilkenny, over a year, and he just fitted like a glove. He's a fantastic hurler, great positional sense, but you can see here he's working hard as well here with Tommy Welch, put Niall McCarthy under serious pressure, and most of these turnovers that they force you to make, lead to scores. And in fairness, Michael Fennelly today was excellent. You know,
John, you were a big fan of Michael Fennelly today, weren't you?
I really think Michael had a fantastic game today, and like considering he just got in for the last 15-20 minutes of last year's All-Ireland final, and you know he's after developing physically as well, and like he's running and he covers both ends of the pitch up and down and makes great breaks down through the middle. He's really very, very talented player and is going to get better, I think.
You've 5 or 6 midfielders there who could play in an All-Ireland, haven't
And
you?
he can only play 2. What a dilemma.
One talking point was Aidan Fogarty's goal. You weren't sure about the...
Yeah, I'm kind of in the minority,
legality
I
of
think. Yeah, but it was a long ball delivered in. Don Lowe comes out. Now, I take a lot of convincing for someone to tell me that Richie Power knows where the ball is. Richie Power is racing in on goal, no idea where the ball is, looking at the goalkeeper, distracts him, puts his hurley across. You can see there the ball hasn't even arrived, and Richie's already after taking Don Lowe's right arm out of it. Now, the Cork lads don't complain too much, so maybe it was legit, but...
It's not a foul to distract someone, though, is it?
Well, he definitely moved his hurley. Don Lowe's moved his hurley, but he did... in my opinion, he played the man. He had no idea where the ball was, but look, it's one of these things.
John?
I think Richie has eyes in the back of his head and he saw it coming in.
No,
but I don't think... I think it was a fair legit goal. I think, you know, if there was contention and saying it, but I think he could have really... and it didn't, and he just pulled aside, and that by that movement alone, I think it just...
The game is gone. I think Cork are short in that department, but in fairness, Pat Horgan, he was the only fella who looked like, you know, being on the ball, but at the same time, PJ Ryan, no shot to save today, right? So Cork, I think, are in a bit of trouble, really.
OK, and a final one for you, Paul. When can you see this Kilkenny dominance ending?
You know, it's not going to be this year, I think, Des. You know, you can see today, John Tennyson's out injured, Henry went off, they brought on James Ryle, straight into centre-back. How many other teams would bring on a replacement and just leave him, you know, in the middle of the defence, the main position in the defence, and you wouldn't even notice that Brian Hogan was gone off. So like Kilkenny have, you know, they've minors coming through, 21s coming through. You know, it's up to the likes of Waterford, Cork, Galway, Clare, Limerick, you know, all the other, you know, Tipperary, you know, to get going and produce quality players. But I don't think there's another Henry Shefflin coming through in any other county, so it's going to be a while.
OK, let's go to the man of the match nominees. There were plenty of... I know it was a tight decision amongst you. Yeah.
All in black and amber days, to be honest with you. I suppose Pat Horgan was the only fella from Cork, I suppose, that came up to the mark. But, you know, the first contender, I suppose, was Michael Fennelly, who John rightly said he had an absolute storm in the midfield and, you know, got on a lot of the ball, right, and drove forward and you know, was very, very good. And second player, like, look, he's been doing it for years, JJ Delaney, excellent again, left half back. Very tidy player, you don't see a lot of things that he does, but excellent in the air and, you know, brilliant. And the third player, of course, was, you know, the top scorer, Richie Power. So, you know, all well deserved as nominees.
And who gets it, Paul? The split vote.
Yeah. Well, you know, when Henry went off today, I think, you know, a lot of, I wouldn't say pressure because of the match, but, you know, Richie Power stepped up to the mark. So Richie wins today's award. You know, people in Kilkenny have been excited by this. You know, I love watching him. He's a fantastic stick man, great pace, you know, very intelligent player as well. He'll pass the ball as well as score. But I think today, you know, he showed what a lot of people in Kilkenny are waiting for a while. And here we are, look, you know, fielded it past Owen Cadigan, caught the ball back in it. And you can see himself how delighted he is that finally, you know, that maybe the fact that Henry has gone off, that he, you know, the pressure was on him and he performed, so fair play to him.
OK, that'll be popular down in Carrickshock then. Let's hear from our man of the match, Richie Power.
Thanks very much.
Richie, congratulations. Wonderful team performance, wonderful individual performance as well.
Yes, I suppose, Marty, we started out today, you know, and we had a job to do, and we all came together during the week, and we knew we had to knuckle down. And as Chas said, we came in with a couple of injuries, and you know, we really put in a performance that we were proud of, and we really just wanted to drive on and get to the first Sunday in September, and thankfully we're there.
We're just saying here he's the head off his father. Well, coming up after the break, we're looking back at